Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Eric.
The hater. I'm Lord Manny. Hey, Hayes!
Ho, ho! I am Marcus the Great! I'm going to rip something, but I'm not. Finale!
First of all, you're ripping something, which I don't know why you did that, but then you evoked the name of Mr. Kennedy by saying your name twice.
Eric, I'm going to start the show by rebuking the devil. You can't talk to me like that. I'm rebuking you.
First of all, why have I become the devil? I haven't done anything.
You criticize me ripping shit.
Let me tell you something. First of all, you guys made me a hater. Now you're trying to make me a devil. I do not agree to this type of slander and accusations that you guys place upon me and my allergic knees.
However, I'm going to point out something. You tried to turn on me the other day by calling me more hateful than you.
Manny, I want to point out.
No. Pause. I want to finish here. There was an episode a few weeks ago where I was complaining. You were complaining about Echo on the actual Untitled Manny and Marcus show where Maurice joined me and Marcus. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
I'm complaining about the Echo that is happening in backstage segments and promo segments and video packages on AEW, and then you have the nerve to call me a bigger hater. You, sir, are a hippo and a crate.
Wow. So clearly, Manny is proving that he is a bigger hater to me because he had that built up. And as we know, Manny doesn't use many words, and he used a lot of words right there to explain his disdain for me criticizing his hatred of AEW.
Ain't nothing better than somebody being called hypocrite. I'm pretty sure there's a cartoon character known as the hypocrite.
I just want to point out, we're not even 5 minutes into the show. I've been called a hater. I've been called the devil. I've been called a hippo. And I think worst of all, I've been called a crate. All I can say is that it feels damn good to be back recording this show.
Hypocrite.
I like to think that you called me a crate. But you know,
we talk shit. We talk shit because it comes from pure love. And gentlemen, I love you both, and I'm ready to start this show.
Well, let's start the show talking about what I would call probably one of the most polarizing moments that took place this week of professional wrestling. It is, you either loved it or you hate it. It was Me and My Shadow, the musical with Chris Jericho and MJF. Manny, I turn to you. First of all, how do you eat your 20-ounce porterhouse, sir?
If anyone has a steak over medium rare, you've got to be crazy. There is no taste above that. Medium acceptable. Anything higher. When he started off with well done, I was like, I was done with this segment. Like, given that this segment was polarizing in the fact that people either loved it or hated it, I'm in the crew that loved it, but I hated the part when he said he wanted his steak well done.
Marcus, I'm going to turn to you real quick. How do you like your steak?
You know, I like my medium rare, or if not rare in general. Like when they showed the steak that was not cooked to the end, mine just needed to be a little bit more cooked than that. And I've been fine with it, baby, because I like my meat like that. I like it raw, baby. I always like it raw. But let me say this.
Oh, baby, I like it raw.
Baby, I like it raw. I felt like them ordering the steak well done originally was the ultimate heel. That's the way a heel would eat their steak. And I think you were supposed to be upset by that, Manny. Because it was repulsive. It was repulsive when he was like, I want it well done. And I want it charred, baby. I want that shit. And Jerry's like, medium well. And I was like, man, these fools don't know how to eat no steak. I hate their guts.
I mean, the whole idea about the whole thing started off with them ordering steaks, and then it gets down to the point where they have to ask the question, Chris, MJF, what are we actually doing here? And then Chris points out, you sat here and haven't said a damn thing the whole time. And to answer the question, I prefer my steak medium rare, also with a nice sear on the outside. Porterhouse is a delicious steak, and based on that segment, tomorrow I plan on making me a porterhouse and a baked potato because that sounds so fucking delicious. I think we can
Is that gonna be a hate on the plate?
Nah, man. It's too much going on. Hate on the plate has been postponed to the year 2021, where there's not more COVID conditions going on. I have to order me some crates. Since I am the crate.
You're a hypocrite.
Do you guys hear an echo? Because I hear a slight echo, and
I hear an echo.
You hear an echo too?
I don't hear an echo.
It's you.
It's me. Live in Studio 3, a.k.a. the car, a.k.a. the Kia Optima, a.k.a. T'Challa.
Okay.
Is that what you named your car?
Yeah, my car's been named T'Challa since Black Panther came out way back. And now, that his passing happened, it's like, man, this is really dedicated to T'Challa. The previous car was named Yasiel after Yasiel Puig.
It was. Marcus was a very big, he names his car. I haven't named shit to my car.
Yeah, my car broke down as soon as Yasiel was traded. It was like, I need to get a new car.
But I think we need to stay on task. So I think Manny said he loved the segment. I enjoyed the segment. Marcus, did you also enjoy the segment?
I enjoyed the segment. You know what? It fit the color of AEW, I felt like. And it didn't seem like it was out of the range of... I didn't think it was controversial when it happened, considering that they had a mimosa match in this company. And a pep rally and all the other kind of bullshit they do. But, I feel like this worked. And it fit the MJF and Diego said, this was no different to me than the Festival of Friendship. Like, to me, it fit.
I mean, for me, what I didn't quite understand, because when people said, oh my God, this is one of the worst segments I've ever seen in professional wrestling, I'm like, man, there's been some really bad segments in professional wrestling. and so I get there and I watch it and I'm like, wait a minute. I have nitpicked AEW for weeks and weeks out. I have called out them on bullshit, and Manny has called them out on echoes. I will point out...
I called them out on production, just like how you called out the echo that's going on right now.
That's driving me crazy. But besides that, at the end of the day, this was hilarious. This is what I watch wrestling for. This is the entertainment portion of wrestling that makes it sports entertainment. It was so over the top and so different from anything that people are doing in wrestling right now. It's like it comes down to the point where he says, can we take it again from the end? And they take it again and they go to the line of kicking their feet. And I haven't seen that in a while. It's a throwback. Manny.
Yeah, it was fun.
What about you? What did you take away from it?
Do you know what? Like, anytime we refer to things that we remember and they're generally funny, it's not the big moments. It's moments like these that are just so stupid sometimes and brilliant at the same time. It's just it was just some fun watch. Like, if you really watched that, it was like, and hated it, you need to evaluate what you find enjoyment in life.
And I think we can all agree we did not see that coming. Like, they're sitting there, you're like, what the hell are they doing? Why can't they order a steak right? And the next thing you know, curtains pull back, and I'm assuming the Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders, it's back there doing an old two-step. I haven't seen an old two-step in modern television in such a long time.
And that's just like Family Guy or some shit. And to me, it was entertaining because when they first announced the La Dinner Debonair or whatever it's called, I was like, oh, this is going to be so fucking stupid. And I was not looking forward to it. And then they started doing the steak bit, and I was like, okay, where's this actually going? And then when they do the number, and I'm calling it a number, because they did a number, I was entertained, because I went, wow, this is so stupid, but so much fun. And it just worked. I don't know. To me, it just worked.
I just hope they don't go back to the well again. Like, this worked this time. Let's not do this in 3 weeks again. Like, let's not bring it back again.
But for the wrestling fans, the so-called wrestling fans that hate this, why are you watching AEW? You should be watching NXT, which is more of a pure wrestling show. Or New Japan. I don't understand what a wrestling fan is anymore. They're just people that bitch and moan about everything.
So apparently Emo says my hate is like Venom's symbiote affected everyone. I can't get it right, man. Whatever. I haven't done this in a long time. It takes me forever. So since we
hate you haven't done this in 2 weeks and you've forgotten words all of a sudden.
Yeah. Emo feels that Dinner Debonair was childish as fuck. He boos it. I have to admit, I'm very childish, and I loved it. Now,
Yeah, wrestling in general is a very childish ass show.
wait till
Everything is a petty difference.
Hey,
like, imagine two people fighting over whatever Kushida and Tommaso Ciampa and the Velveteen Dream are fighting over, or what Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis are fighting over. That's some childish ass shit.
Or let's point out Law and Otis, which I can't wait to talk about when we get to SmackDown, because I know
that's the other controversial segment.
Yeah. But since we're already in AEW, I want to stay there. So AEW started their tournament for, I believe it's the challenge for the AEW champion, correct? To become the number one contender?
Yeah, because the rankings don't mean shit.
So there was one match where I felt that they got it right, but they did something more and got it completely wrong. And that is the Kenny Omega match versus Sonny Kiss. I support destroying Sonny Kiss the way that Kenny Omega did. However, the entrance for Kenny Omega, I did not like. Marcus,
what?
I did not. I just didn't like it.
I felt like it was like we're gonna reboot Kenny. I felt like that was a Kenny reboot.
It was a terrible reboot.
I enjoyed the reboot. The hoochies with the brooms. Come on.
No, just like if you see like Kenny Omega's entrances in New Japan were better than this.
Yeah, but I felt like this over the production. It was more of a heel Kenny Omega. And, like, you're not supposed to 100% enjoy the interest because it was so self-indulgent of hearing all his accolades and shit. And him just going out there and beating the shit out of Sonny Kiss like he was Brock Lesnar. I enjoyed that.
I think for me, the issue that I had, and I hate to say this, is the skanks with the broom. I was okay with hearing all of his accolades. I was okay with him standing behind the screen looking like an old Jericho about to debut. But the skanks with the brooms just didn't do it for me. I just, the cult of West.
I know what it was.
Betty, it's the cult. It's the cult of West. The cult of West. That's what COW is. He has a whole cult now. The cult.
The cow. The cow.
Cacao!
Are they trying to milk each other?
Betty,
that was going on that goes.
I see that you agree with me that you didn't want the skanks with the brooms either.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them skanks.
They're just the unemployed Raw Underground girls.
No, they were the Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders.
They were used twice on this show, and then I didn't feel like they were used correctly. But going back,
Manny, okay, hold on before we go further. Manny, you can't say they're just the Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders. That's a step down from Skanks. I'm just saying the Jacksonville Jaguars are a shit organization.
I'm sorry. Have you met the Jets? They are. Wait, the whole state of New York is terrible at football at the moment, except Buffalo.
All Ingram had to do was extend those fingertips, and he would have caught that ball. But he was too lazy to do that. So
I'm going to enjoy it. My favorite part about that game is the fall down and all the WWE picks that came along with the quarterback just running and randomly falling down. Man, I was watching that going like, what the hell happened?
He got tired, man. He got tired. So Kenny Omega defeated Sonny Kiss, who replaced your boy Joey Janela because he came in contact with somebody with COVID. He's going to face Wardlow next week, who defeated Jungle Boy in a solid opening match. On the other side of the bracket, it was Adam Page defeating
Colt Cabana,
which has
boom. Colt
which
Cabana.
It's whatever. And then you had Pentagon going against his brother Ray Phoenix, where Ray Phoenix won, so it's going to be Ray Phoenix versus Adam Page.
Ray Phoenix has been taken out of that match, and it will be Pentagon.
Okay, well, I mean,
because he's actually injured.
At the same time, Manny, does it really matter? Because the one thing about this tournament bracket, it's very predictable. We know it's going to end up being Kenny Omega versus Adam Page. Is there any doubt in anyone's mind that that's going to be the case, Marcus?
I have doubt.
You have doubt?
I have doubt. I think either Hangman Page is gonna screw Omega, or Omega's gonna screw Kenny Omega out this one of their matches, and Wardlow is going to win this tournament.
I mean, I could see that happening, Marcus, for the simple reason that you don't want to give away a Moxley Omega match, or let me get the Murder Hawk might beat Moxley. Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Hawk. It's not even the Murder Hawk. It's what you call her? What's his name?
Kingston. Eddie Kingston.
Yes,
Eddie
because
Kingston.
the week I took off from wrestling, they had that match already, so I guess Moxley won.
Lost.
So it doesn't matter. Manny, I think you agree with me in this situation. There's no surprises. We're going Paige Omega, correct?
I think it's leaning towards that, but there are other people that these two should have a match on its own, not for a title, not going into a number one contenders match. They need to sort out their business, give it to someone else. I was hoping to see Rey Fenix challenge Mox. It would have been a different kind of match, but we're not going to get that.
I mean,
well, we may, even Penta versus Mox. They rebuild Penta instead of just being, a side character and make him, something more. And, his Zero Mierda, I can't say it right now, but, against John Moxley seems like that makes the most sense to me. Over Rey Fenix.
The thing about it is that I think that if it's not Omega or Paige facing Moxley, it'll be like the World Series without the Dodgers making it. If it became the Tampa Bay Devil Rays versus the Atlanta Braves, nobody would really want to see that. And so you no
one's watching this one.
Marcus, they still got 9.5 million views. Tell AEW and NXT to maybe combine and get you could combine all the wrestling weeks and they still can't beat how many people watch the World Series. And I know that's low, but it's still pretty impressive considering that we watch wrestling.
Well, they beat the NBA.
That is NBA got their own problems. Another thing, we'll talk about the main event for AEW.
Can we talk about before we go further? Can we talk about the Phoenix and Penta match and how
Marcus spit on that, man? I'm sorry.
I really enjoyed that match, and but unfortunately, Rey Fenix was hurt in the middle of it. And it just, to me, it shows AEW's lack of concern of safety that they let the wrestlers rule everything. This goes back to the Matt Hardy scenario when he was injured and they were just like, no, man, I'm going to continue. And then the doctors don't do shit and let people continue. Like, somebody probably should have stepped in the Rey Fenix match, even though he was able to continue the match. And, and spoiler alert for next tapings, he's pulled out or whatever. But he probably shouldn't finish because he looked really injured and limped at multiple times and looked like Penta was just wrestling a dead man and it looked like he even went for the finish and probably was like, nah, I'm kicking out. Fuck you. So they have to really, do something with their medical staff and just figure out how to hide it.
When you're talking about safety though, you got to also look at the main event where Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order was just knocked the fuck out. For a good portion of that match, he was just lying in the middle of the ring. And then all this action was going on around him, which is even worse.
Yeah. It's I really feel like they need to clamp down on their safety. As much as I enjoyed Rey Fenix and Penta, and that powerbomb is still the most ridiculous finish powerbomb I've ever seen in my life. That was just amazing, but it just proves how much I love Rey Fenix and, these guys. But I just feel like they need to be really concerned about their wrestler safety and clamp down. Because I don't feel like in WWE that this would happen, that someone is really unconscious and hurt and no one is checking in on them.
I think, Marcus, the one thing I can always learn, anytime that you're reminded that you really care for Rey Fenix and you think he's a great wrestler, he always gets injured and he's not put into the light that he needs to shine. I thought
he's the best. I love Rey Fenix.
I mean,
and I was feared for his safety, honestly, at the end of this match.
I honestly can't believe I'm about to say this. I thought the tournament matches that they did for the number one contender were actually well executed. I thought they all made sense. Except for who's participating in them, but overall, yes. I thought the match structures. I thought Jungle Boy versus Wardlow. I told you, I'm impressed with Wardlow. I've seen Wardlow in a couple of matches. I think he's come a long way. I thought Jungle Boy did well in the match, but I didn't want him to win, of course. I even thought Colt Cabana versus Adam Page was a pretty good match to establish what was going on. And then the dissension between the Dark Order and Colt Cabana not being a part of it, but he's still there. It's intriguing for me. It's intriguing, and I enjoyed that. And then the match that closed out the show has been the longest build-up in AEW, and that's the FTR facing the Young Bucks. We finally get that happening, and then the Young Bucks be all bitchy and knock their beer out their hand. I think the Young Bucks versus FTR is going to be a really good match for me, personally.
Well, this solidified AEW still don't like black people. Black people don't win on AEW. Private Party had to take that bid. It's no matter what. But finally we're getting it, and we're probably not getting it, Eric. I think they're going to sell this injury angle.
Probably.
I don't think they're gonna give it to us at Full Gear. They're gonna wait to another pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen.
But that's old school wrestler right then and there. I mean, you got to make us wait. I guess I should also mention that Taz once again invited Will Hobbs to join his faction. I don't know if Will Hobbs answered because I just remember getting a video package of seeing Darby Allin with Steve-O, who I don't think is relevant in this year, being rolled down a ramp in his in a body bag, and I'm just like, why do I hate this?
Eric, Steve-O hasn't been relevant since like 2001.
I know.
Yeah, like last time Steve-O was relevant, he showed up on Raw and they did a sketch. They were promoting Jackass 3. That was probably 10 years ago or more. But Steve-O was jacked. Steve-O was jacked.
And
I remember Steve-O being a scrawny looking like twig. He was in pretty good shape.
Let me just point out, Marcus, this is another example of AEW taking WWE talent. Because Steve-O was on WWE also. So it's whatever. That's all I had. Is there anything that I missed on AEW that you guys would like to talk about, or should we move on to something else?
I'm really enjoying Eddie Kingston, the build up to him and Moxley. Not looking forward really to the match, but the build up in general and the packages they're doing, and them talking about the family and all this, and how he sold out and went to the land of entertainments. And then the promo he cut that was after the show should have been something on the damn show.
Yeah.
Like, it was so passionate, and he had so much hate in his heart. And while he was attacking Moxley, if a show ended like that, I was like, this is a real deal wrestling show. But for me to have to wait till this week to see the footage of that, of him just winging it, and then continuing on this week with some more hate, I'm enjoying Eddie Kingston. He's one of the best talkers in the history of the business, and I look forward to more promos and not really looking forward to the match.
But Marcus, let me tell you something. You're also leaving out one of the biggest accomplishments that Eddie Kingston has accomplished so far in AEW, and it hit home for me. Marcus, he reunited the Blade, the Butcher, and the Bunny. And for me, that is all. Triple B is back together. No explanation. She dropped the dude from the Nightmare family. She's back in the corner of the Blade and the Butcher, and that's all that matters to me.
It's like, where's your wife? That was the storyline. We get teased. Somehow he said, I'm going to bring them back together. He does it on Dark. And next thing you know, they back together. And I go, what? And then Eddie Kingston doesn't come out the ringside when the Butcher and the Blade are in the main event. Like, he's done with them. He reunited that family. How could I be against that guy when he fixed that family?
So, Manny, is there anything you want to add to AEW before we move on to something else?
No, it's more to jump on what Mark was saying. It's just like they do leave a lot out. Like, you would have made better television if you had those reveals on the show. Like, even for you, Eric, if the Bunny reveal happened on the show, I think we all would have had a little bit more like, yeah, this was cool.
Yeah, I mean, no, surprisingly, I didn't hate this episode of AEW. I just didn't like the cheerleaders that Kenny Omega had. After that, I thought it was a good episode of AEW, which is...
You mean the Hooties, the Skanks.
I didn't like the Skanks.
Scallywags.
I didn't like the Scallywags, man, with their two-step. I don't know. Gentlemen, which show should we talk about next?
Well, I don't even, there's part of me that wants to go into Raw just because I want to see the comparisons of who has more musical talent, MJF and Jericho or Elias.
We can go there, Marcus.
Decided to put on a full-blown concert.
Marcus,
Raw.
There's not much...
Only to be upstaged by Jeff Hardy, who decided to do a solo on his guitar.
Well, Marcus, there's not much to talk about on Raw, so we can talk about that. So, pretty much, Elias gave a 2-song set on Monday Night Raw. And I will say... it was quite of a show. I was impressed by what Elias had to offer. I even though fuck Judas, Elias has Amen. I look forward to his album dropping on Monday. Will I listen to it? I don't know. Marcus, are you gonna cop that?
No, hopefully it shows up in Apple Music. Maybe I'll listen to 1 or 2 songs and go, that was Elias. I walked with him for a little bit, but I ain't going that far.
So, Maddie,
it was a decent concert.
So, Maddie, do you think that Jeff Hardy is a son of a bitch for taking his time to put on a hoodie, to get on there, grab the guitar, and do like a solo by himself?
Yeah, fuck Jeff Hardy. He ruined the show. And do you know what I want? I want Jeff Hardy to enter the Hell in a Cell first on Sunday. Him be locked in the cage. And then what do we get? Elias performing on top of the cell. No one can interrupt him.
Only to throw Jeff Hardy off the top. I feel like Jeff Hardy would jump off the top of the cell. He's not even. They're not even in a Hell in a Cell match, but Jeff Hardy's gonna jump off the top of the cell.
And if Elias sings everything he's about to do to Jeff Hardy, like, Jeff Hardy, you better not climb that cage or I will kick you in the head.
Wow. Manny, with lyrics like that, I wonder why you're not a songwriter.
Let me tell you something else about what I liked about Monday Night Raw, because like you said, there's a lot because it took so long for it. But I think the Fiend being back on the Red Show makes so much sense. Him, Alexa Bliss, the involvement with Retribution, the Hurt business. I really enjoyed everything that they were doing in this situation. And although Retribution lost in that opening match, I thought the promo that Mustafa cut kind of saved a little bit of face for Retribution. Manny, or do you think Retribution is dead in the water?
It seemed like it was dead in the water the moment they took an L from the Hurt business, and then the Fiend destroyed them all one by himself. And then you get this promo from Mustafa Ali, and it almost felt like he was gonna just be backtracking on himself. But he did a good job. Mm-hmm. He admitted to being the SmackDown hacker.
For those who forgot. That shit wasn't working, so I had to get violent. No one was hearing me tell the truth. I had to get violent. I had to start a riot. What about those other members? How many people does he have in his group?
I don't know, but Dijakovic looks jacked. I don't know. I was like, man, I don't remember him being this ripped. But overall, I'm still okay with Retribution. I'm still trying to hold on to see what they're gonna do. Marcus,
so you're okay with him? I know you thought. I mean, because you went back and forth with it, or not back and forth. You said it was dead in the water when they came out as Slapjack and T-Bar, Mace, and Windu. I don't remember the other people. I don't remember the other names.
Mace.
Yeah, Mason Bedlam, whatever. I don't know what the names are.
Isn't one called Retribute or something like that?
I don't know what me and you's name is.
Gentlemen, it don't matter. Just Marcus, keep making your point.
So, I'm still on board. I don't think Retribution's dead yet. I think he still has some truth to be revealed, and I think there's still a leader to be revealed, which is going to be The Miz. I'm telling you, it's The Miz. He's going to get that briefcase at Hell in a Cell, and then they're going to jump Drew McIntyre after overall, and Miz is going to be revealed as the new leader of Retribution. That's why they didn't win, because these are the cronies. They're going to win when they get their real leader. Once this prediction falls through, I have no reason to say Retribution. If I'm wrong, I have no reason to say Retribution. Sorry, Slapjack and Mama's Boy, I can't help you anymore.
We can still debate if Retribution is dead or not, but one thing that we do know is dead, that is Raw Underground. And I know this probably hits Marcus a little bit closer to home, but it was confirmed that Raw Underground died once you saw AJ Styles debut with as they call him, a huge human being. AJ Styles' bodyguard doesn't have a name, but a huge human being. Marcus,
I feel like human being was code for nigga. I don't know why.
Well, they called him the big ninja first. He was the big ninja first. So, they were playing dangerously close to calling him that anyway.
My biggest gripe that I have with this entire segment is the fact that we're going to act like we hadn't seen this man week in and week out with letting Shane McMahon into the underground. And now all of a sudden...
they acknowledged that.
Well, Marcus, you turn your car on. We can't hear you no more. Hello? Okay, yes. You can't turn your car on, Marcus.
No, I just had to crack the window, man. I couldn't breathe.
Okay.
But they acknowledged him that he was from Raw Underground bodyguard multiple times.
Okay.
That huge human being.
Do you like him being attached to AJ Styles?
Yes. I've liked this guy since the beginning, since he was a ninja. He just looks physically imposing. He looked like a man about his business, but he looked like a man that can't work. So...
Yeah, so apparently backstage they're concerned that he has limited mobility.
he does give off the Great Khali vibes. But however, putting the man that big in a suit that didn't look like it was tailored for him, it could create problems because at least when he was the bodyguard, he was wearing a bomber jacket, a t-shirt, and maybe some slacks. You might want to tone down him wearing the bodyguard suit. You don't have to wear a suit to be a bodyguard. But Manny,
no, put that suit on.
So AJ Styles beat up Matt Riddle. Once again, continue to streak that if you get caught up from NXT, you might not be shit. How do you?
I have one more thing to say about this dude, the big dude.
You always have one.
Will he be better in the Hurt Business?
No, because the Hurt Business needs a female. That's when you get. And I know the rumor of Naomi being put into the Hurt Business. I just don't know if that could work.
But imagine, big dude, huge man, Jordan, and last name I can't say right now, but I'm assuming Michael Cole's gonna say it enough that he's just gonna probably be known as Jordan at one point.
Wait, just gonna lose his name again?
Yeah, he's gonna lose his last name. Just imagine MVP doing the MVP lounge and he's opening up the door. I feel like that makes more sense in the Hurt Business. Film suits. He opened that little thing so they can get in. Like that makes sense to me.
First of all, how dare they do that to Titus when he was asking? How dare they? So disrespectful.
That was so evil. So fucked up. That might be the most heelish thing of the week.
The thing about
the heel points.
Let me tell you something. And what the Hurt Business could really use, they could use whoever Titus Taylor is because his suits look so much better than what the whole Hurt Business is wearing. And you could at least got him in there just for the suit game. That was for me.
But Titus getting jumped was like you being in the RPG. And then someone randomly shows up and they start talking. And you have the option of work with this guy, try to, the middle ground option, whatever that is. Or let's just jump him. They chose jump him. And beat the shit out of him.
So Manny,
and it was so rude. It was so like, ow.
I have a question for you. How do you feel that this week, the only time that you got to see Big E is in the Thunderdome when he's supporting Kofi Kingston in his epic match against Sheamus, where he's bringing him up, feeling the power? That's the only time we saw Big E.
This is more reason to why I don't like Xavier Woods on TV. Like, he's great on Up, Up, Down, Down. And he's entertaining on Up, Down, Down. But the moment he went and Kofi's getting his ass whooped in the ring, he's like, look! It's Big E! He's here! No, fuck off, Xavier Woods. Like a child in the ring.
Man, Manny with the hate. I thought Kofi and Sheamus had a really good match. I really enjoyed it.
First time in 9 years they had a singles match together.
And as Jeremy Bishop said in the chat room, that was naked Vicky. I'm confident he didn't have no pants on in that situation.
Yeah. I don't like to think that much about that. Like, I feel like he was, but I don't want.
Yeah, why are you two thinking about that? Why are you and Jeremy thinking like that?
I'm just reading what he put into the chat room to make the chat room be a part of the interaction. 2 more takeaways from Monday Night Raw. Keith Lee got really mad because he got hit in the nuts, so he kicked Braun Strowman in the nuts. I mean, I don't even know.
Stop fucking with me! Stop fucking with me!
I mean, that's all I could see him saying right then and there. And I feel like we should be credited with him being so upset that he yells at people to stop fucking with him that he resorts to kicking people in the balls.
Oh man, this continues. It's gonna continue. I don't know what's going on with Keith Lee right now, or this Braun Strowman storyline and everything, and him getting kicked in the nuts. God bless that man. But, I don't know what's going on. I
will point out,
this is like the biggest botch call up I feel like of all time.
Yeah, but it was going so well for so long, and then they decided they needed Braun Strowman to get a win because White Lives Matter. With that being said, the show ended with the red Hell in a Cell, which I'm not a fan of the red Hell in a Cell, with Randy Orton being in the center of the ring, locking himself inside the cell, teasing and mocking Drew McIntyre, but not realizing that Drew McIntyre had bolt cutters on the side of the ring, allowed him to get into the Hell in a Cell. This was a very lackluster ending for me. Manny, what about you?
Oh, go ahead.
I went to Manny. Yes, I did. I tricked you right there.
I didn't understand the point of the ending. Like, they shut the door with him inside and Randy holding a chair, and then it just became this standoff. And it was like, did they fight? What's going on? Are we going to see what happened when they turn off the cameras?
No, see, you guys don't know anything about production, baby. You don't know anything about the tease right there. They were giving you what it would be like in Hell in a Cell. They giving you the openings of that match of what is he going to do in the ring. He's got a chair. He's closing them in. That was the tease. I didn't like it either, but I know exactly what happened right there. It was like when he closed that door, I was like, they're going to end the show like that. Like, they're not going to show us what actually happened. There's not going to be a brawl here. I was disappointed that he used bolt cutters. I wanted to go full cheese with it and him claymoring the door open. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What's Randy going to do now? Like, that's where I thought it was going, but maybe they're saving the claymore to kick the door open into the actual match.
I also did think he was going to claymore the door open, which I thought would have gave a better effect in the situation.
Then, hold on. Randy Orton, don't be a dumbass. We've all used bolt cutters before. Well, we haven't all used bolt cutters, but we all know that we've seen the bolt cutter bit with the chain. That's how they always open the door. Randy Orton, like, nobody getting at me.
You realize if he did claymore the door, he would be landing on his head on the concrete.
I mean,
care about that, Manny.
It would also give him a way to escape the situation that is going on. Like, it just didn't make much sense. I wish I knew why I was echoing.
Do you know the more saddening thing about this show was the fact that Peyton Royce is now teaming with Lacey Evans for no goddamn reason.
Betty,
What's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen? They literally just wanted to get rid of Billy Kay. That's all that was. Vince's love for blondes and hate for anybody with any dark hair whatsoever continues because that was pure bigotry. That was hatred. When I saw that, I was disgusted. Hashtag Billy Kay deserves better.
You Marcus, on our show on Tuesday and Thursday now, that is going to be the hashtag on the top of the show. I'm going to have to make a specific overlay for that.
This is outrageous. I can't take this anymore. She was the heart and soul of the Iconics. And then all of a sudden, you throw Lacey Evans in there to make another mismatch tag team when you had a real tag team? This is hogwash. Bogardash.
Marcus, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't understand what happened, why it happened this way, and I didn't want to bring it up, but because I knew it would upset you guys so much if I brought up the fact that they had her team up with Lacey Evans. And because, like, when I saw this, I was like, what in the haberdashery is going on in this situation where this is a pairing that we need to have? But
upsetting.
But with that,
Lala went through a table.
She keeps going through a table, and I don't think anyone cares. It's paying the.
I care. I need it every week. I need this to happen every week for no reason.
So
can I just point out? I still don't understand why they rebuild the table. I don't want it rebuilt mid-show.
Betty, have you ever did a show with a broke table? It's not the easiest thing to do.
Yes, but in the past, they would just carry on the broadcast with a broken table. Now, they're rebuilding it like it's goddamn Legos, and I don't like it.
I love the way the things wrestling fans complain about. Musicals and rebuilding tables. So, I don't want them to rebuild something.
Let me ask a question. Do you feel that because they can rebuild the table so easily that it's not as painful it is going through the table?
No!
That's a fun, not a simple answer.
And Jeremy, no, Naomi doesn't need to make her hair blonde, man. It just go
for it. She may have a chance.
If she makes her hair blonde, she'll just be natty.
In blackface. In blackface.
Technically, Naomi is black natty. What can you say? And emo haberdashery is not a word that I created. It's a word that by comedian Tony Baker, on Instagram. So haberdashery. Let's move on to the biggest haberdashery in professional wrestling. NXT, which I think it's almost tied with SmackDown for being my favorite show because so many ridiculous things happen, and I want to go back into Dinner with the Garganos where they were going to practice spinning the wheel. And apparently we find out that Johnny Gargano does not like wheels, and it is proof that his hatred for wheels don't like him. He spent a Bury Alive match, which he was extremely upset about. Then he got a casket match. And Marcus,
Why does Will want to kill me?
Marcus, I turn to you. Did you enjoy this segment?
Yes, I did. I thought this was probably my favorite Home with the Gargano segment of all time. Because it was so stupid with him, them talking about we have a training wheel and all the stupid matches that were on there. He was like, I want the coal miner's glove match. This is all the terrible matches that can happen. And then the fact that they kept trying to kill him. What? I don't know what match Johnny's going to get. But I know the match Candice is going to get, who once said she's undefeated in street fights. I don't know this to be true. But I have to take her word for it. A trigger street fight. Candice is going to get Shotzi's choice, and she's going to make it a triple threat match. And Shotzi's probably going to become the champion. I don't know what's going to happen with Gargano and Priest, and it looked like Priest don't give a damn either.
Well,
and EO's package of everything that was on the wheel, EO wins. EO wins. And I was like, you goddamn right. That's what's going to happen.
The greatest thing about this is that when you go to the counter argument from Damian Priest, he is getting a new tattoo. He says,
no, touch up.
Whatever.
It looked like a touch up.
He said, whether he win or lose, he's still going to be Damian Priest. So technically, he didn't care about the title or not. Manny, is that a good mentality to go into your first title defense against Johnny Gargano?
Well, Sasha Banks should learn from that because she can't.
Sasha Banks can't retain. Sasha Banks has never retained. But I feel like his mentality is I don't feel like he said that. I feel like you're misrepresenting his words.
Mark, that is how I interpret it.
Like win or lose, I'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of got that what he said. I mean, verbatim, that might not be the case, but
he was saying he could deal with the pain. He'd be okay with dealing with the pain after a match. I don't think he was saying he'd be okay with losing.
But like the greatest thing though, like you said, EO was just talking about, I'm just gonna win. No matter what happens, I'm winning this match because
all I do is win, no matter what. That's pretty much all she was saying, counting money.
So I'm gonna turn to Manny because I know Manny has been clamoring for this a long time. And I don't think it's about Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch winning the tag team titles, but he's been asking for Pat McAfee to come back to NXT and make things a little bit more interesting. First, he made his return, but he made his return with one of the worst masks I have ever seen in my entire life. It looked like a metal jockstrap that covered his entire face. Manny, were you happy to see McAfee back on the screen?
It's great to have McAfee back. It looked like he was wearing Jordan's jockstrap on his face because he is such a giant man. Yeah, but then even when they released the talking point where he was talking at the end of NXT on YouTube, it was the most passion I've heard in someone talking on NXT, and compared to some people that have been doing it for years, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
Some people need to check themselves on their promo skills.
McAfee was out there just on his best heel work. And, I hate to say, I don't know if I said this on the show, but I remember me and Manny Man had a conversation that McAfee was behind the attack on Adam Cole originally with Ridge Holland and bought him the thing. I don't remember if that was on tape. But
yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that being on tape, and then I remember reacting to it really weirdly, but loving it at the same time. But you definitely, that was a great call.
Yep, and then continuing the storyline, and I don't know. I feel like there has to be a fourth member on their team since Ridge is out, and I don't know who it is.
I think it's.
I don't really have a guy.
I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly looked very disengaged when Adam was talking on the thing, and I know he cut the promo, but I feel like he's a sleeper cell in the destruction of the Undisputed Era. I just really feel that way. I mean,
shit, he wasn't attacked.
Yeah, I mean,
he wasn't attacked.
I feel like
you're right.
This is one of those things, but I hope you guys don't mind if I do this because I know I don't like to kind of mingle the shows together, but there's two similar moments that happened on NXT and on SmackDown that I want to ask. Who do you think did it better? So Austin Theory, after losing to Bronson Reed twice, he quit. However, we went to
Quit again.
we went to SmackDown and we had Shorty G wrestle a wrestler who will not be named by me, and he lost. And after that match, he quit. But then Shorty G cut a promo in the back that made me feel good inside because Shorty G has quitted, but Mr. Gable, Chad Gable, is back. Marcus, who did you think quit better, Theory or Gable?
Well, Theory was like a whiny little bitch when he quit. Not to get his ass whooped by a man twice. The Colossal Brasserie. He got his ass whooped twice. He quit. It was like, I quit. I don't need this shit. He was done. Chad Gable just quit being Shorty G, which is a blessing. I went, hallelujah. Finally, this is over. But I really appreciate Hangman Pierce hanging that contract over him, coming into him. You know you really can't quit, right? You really know the legal ramifications of doing that. And sure, he changed his mind really quick. No. Shorty, I quit being Shorty G. Chad Gable is going to come back. I'm tired of this shit. And I've been tired of Shorty G for the longest time. And he needs to be Chad Gable, and I'm really upset. I was upset all these times when he was Shorty G. And finally, Chad Gable's back. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but I'm happy for the man. I got his manhood back.
I fully enjoyed the part where he was almost like, "Fuck these kids! They can't do. Stop telling them that they can do whatever they want to be and everything." And as a parent, you should, if parents out there, you should really stop telling your kids they're special, because when they get outside into the real world tells them how not special they are.
Yeah.
So stop telling them they're special,
LeBron James.
because you will crush their spirit when they get into the real world and someone tells them no.
Speaking of not being special, Everrise got a win in one of the most fluke ways ever because Drake Maverick snacked because he said he had no friends. And then afterwards, Killian Dane was extremely excited with this version of Drake Maverick. Manny, did this entertain you with Drake Maverick going crazy? Or were you upset that Everrise got a win?
First of all, I was a bit upset that they didn't give me the full Everrise entrance to annoy Marcus. But I'm thinking a bit more sad that I'm not getting the full entrance music to Drake and Killian.
The Furry and the Furious?
The whistles of.
Oh wow! I mean, that's actually going on. I believed it. Yeah. You know what? And the more it goes on, one day Killian Dane's gonna do that dance, and we have a legit tag team in NXT. We have a legit tag team come over to NXT. Because I don't know how long we're going to go with Danny Burch and Orion Logan. But Pat McAfee can only carry that team so far.
Only so far. But speaking of carrying things, let's talk about two more things that occurred on NXT that I will make an announcement. As you guys know, I've always been a big supporter of Rhea Ripley. I am snatching my support from Rhea Ripley, and I'm going all behind Big Mama Cool, Raquel Gonzalez. That is my go-to. She is the one who I can't wait to see catapult to the next level. I really like the little speech she cut after the match with Ember Moon, and no one cared about that match. I think Raquel Gonzalez is a star.
Mo, it's shown up all the time, no matter what the fuck happens.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need that. Marcus, Raquel Gonzalez, are you in agreement with me? Is she the next big thing?
Yeah, she's shit. I don't think she's gonna become a bigger star than Rhea Ripley, because Rhea Ripley got that blonde hair going. So that's what she got to catch at. But Big Mama Cool, I've been all for it, and I can't wait to see these two monsters clash at Halloween Havoc. And was this was the episode where I know the previous episode when Raquel or Rhea's talking shit, and then you hear the other one. I hear you talking shit.
Yeah, that was last week.
That was last week. They had them pull apart, and I was like, you know what? People, that needs to happen more. I'm right here. Like, we're in a small venue. Everybody can hear you. Bitch, I will fight you.
So Manny, we already know that you don't care for Ember Moon as it is. Would you have just preferred for Raquel Gonzalez just to come out and cut the promo? Actually, I don't think this is where Raquel Gonzalez showed up at. I think she
No,
showed up.
it was
It
after
was,
the
'cause he
Zion
had-
Lee. It was after Zion Lee and
Casey
Jessica Mayer, right?
No. Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She came out during that.
She didn't beat up Ember Moon.
Well, why not? Let's beat up Ember Moon. No one needs that.
Can I just point out in that Ember Moon match, there was a bit where Ember Moon taps Jessica Mayer on the head, and then she does the exact same thing to her. And then Ember Moon goes, "Oh, you messed up now." And what does she come back with? A drop kick.
Yeah.
A drop kick.
Can we talk about somebody who had enough though, who just wasn't gonna take no bullshit? And this was like one of the best segments I had ever seen because I loved the crowd there. It was Thatch Can, where Anthony got fed up.
My favorite segment of the week, I think.
Anthony got fed the fuck up. And at that point, how the crowd was cheering Anthony, I was cheering Anthony too. I was like, you can't let this man do this to you.
Well, his name is Andrew.
Anthony.
But they started chanting, or it's other. I can't remember which way it is.
I think his
But
name is
they were
Anthony
They were
Vargas.
chanting the wrong name. They weren't chanting his actual name. They were chanting the name Thatcher gave him. And this dude was the retro dude from Evolve. Cause I saw the tights. I was like, this dude is familiar. Then I saw the retro. I was like, oh, he the retro dude from Evolve. But he had enough of that shit. This dude fucking around trying to break my arm on TV. Don't fuck with me like that. And he started choking out that shit. I was like, oh, shit. Shit got crazy. This dude fucking out and choke somebody out.
So, like, for me and Manny, I know you guys probably didn't have Martin in England. I'm not really sure. But this is always back with a good Kung Fu instructor is trying to teach people how to do Kung Fu. And then his student whoops his ass because he ain't been paying him. And I just love this segment for no good reason. And it was so unnecessary. But Anthony, shout out to you for whooping ass, man. Don't let Thatcher do that to you.
I think we just got the feud of the year right now. Like, they can start that shit, and I'm all for it. Like, this motherfucker crazy. But with Thatcher, I'll let Manny talk. I've said a lot.
Manny,
I really enjoyed this. It was a solid segment, and it's going to go further. And this guy's going to be on the map, not on the moon, but he'll be on the map.
I can't even talk about my dude, Cameron Grimes, and his promo of being coked out of his mind with this. When he found out he was in a haunted horrors match with, he was like, "I'm in a what?" Okay.
I'm sorry, but my favorite, Cameron Grimes reminded me of this week. For some reason, he reminded me of Rick James. And I don't know why. Wait, I got to fight him tonight. How am I? When? Like, you see coked out, and you see Dexter Lewis just looking at him, and I was like, this is some petty ass shit. I feel like this match is gonna be the next thing that destroys wrestling forever. But I can't wait.
And then I don't want to forget about mentioning the 6-man tag that took place because it had an epic moment. Jake Atlas hit a nice DDT off the table, but what I like the most about this match is that Joaquin Wilde could care less about what happened to Escobar. He was too busy celebrating, but Raul Mendoza ran over there, put the title on his shoulder, and carried him back up the ramp while Joaquin Wilde was still like, "Yes, I won." And I'm like, Manny, do you think that's dissension between the Phantasmas, or was that just...
No,
Okay.
Eric, a win's a win. You celebrate a win regardless of what happens.
Escobar had no clue where he was at.
If we were in a 6-man and you were on the floor dead, I'd still be celebrating like I'm going to the moon.
Yeah, Eric, I'm putting the title on you and we're getting the fuck out.
But Marcus,
we did it.
Let me ask you this question, though. Did you know that Tahuti Miles was taking that pin?
Yeah. You mean Shanti D. Adonis?
He gonna be Tahuti Miles, man.
But I really enjoyed the hell out of this match. I think all the matches on NXT, even the triple threat match with Velveteen and Kushida, was really good to start the show. And NXT, I thought, was just a better show than AEW in the Wednesday Night War this week, entertainment-wise. Although I enjoyed AEW as well.
I think for me, both shows were a push. The thing that I'm going to be really keeping my my pen to the paper to write and analyze is that the promotion that NXT has done for Halloween Havoc next week, I feel like that show sounds amazing. I think it should be 2 hours of fun. And I feel like it should beat AEW in the ratings. But
it won't.
the AEW support is strong, man. It is strong, and I just don't know.
Well, AEW is a tape show. You don't know what you're getting out of this Halloween Havoc edition, and it has the throwback name of Halloween Havoc. I feel like it may take them, but I always feel like it takes them. But then they draw 600 viewers. It's like, oh, there it is.
So let's talk about taking somebody to the task. Let's go to one of my favorite segments of wrestling this week. And I know it might have a lot of hate. I didn't look at the forums, but Law and Otis, I enjoyed so much. I mean, from the fact that you had Ron Simmons as the bailiff, JBL as the judge, Teddy Long making a random cameo appearance being either the clerk or court reporter. I'm not really sure what job Teddy Long was doing, but at the same time...
Teddy Long was doing your job.
I feel like he was. But then the Miz firing his attorney.
I don't know who he's playing. Yeah, he's playing you.
No, because the thing is, he was acting like a court reporter. So I know. It was kind of but my favorite point had to be the Miz fired his attorney that remember supposed to be his greatest attorneys, and then he made a passionate opening statement, and then Otis goes, "I won the match. That's why I deserved it." And everybody was like,
well, shit, that's the case.
Now, Marcus, I'm going to go to you. Did you expect testimony to take place in Law and Otis?
Oh, yes. I expected some testimony witnesses, and can I treat the witnesses? I wanted him when he said, can I treat the witness as hostile to just start fighting Tucker? I wanted him to start swinging on Tucker. Because Tucker Knight was the worst witness on the stand for Otis.
No, Marcus, no.
Like, he heard the case.
Marcus, Rey Mysterio was the worst witness for that. Because, let me tell you what, Marcus. Right. Let me play attorney right now because I'll be like, Rey Mysterio. So you say that Otis won that match, correct? Well, I'm reviving the match. You never see him win the match because you got thrown off the roof. So you don't know what happened. So how do you know what happened?
I felt like they should have brought that up immediately.
Yeah, I thought that would have been hilarious. Yeah. And Rey Mysterio just going, I was thrown off the roof of that match. Any man that could win that match.
Yeah, I was like,
this man to win the money in the bank. He has to bring up he was thrown on the roof.
And then the cross-examination by Mike, The Miz, was great on Tucker Knight because Tucker Knight admitted that Otis ain't doing shit with the money in the bank. Manny, did you think the cross-examination was great?
I feel like Tucker really let down his partner there, and if it was in front of a real judge and not Judge JBL, he would have lost that. He would have lost that briefcase.
I'll tell you this: my favorite moment of the segment was when JBL says he's going to deliberate for about a couple of minutes, basically a commercial break, and Taylor just pops up. I'm going to the bathroom, player. I just busted out laughing because the way he just popped up, like he had to go take a piss.
I mean, sometimes that happens, man. You just be sitting there, you be like, shit, I gotta take a piss, man. I don't want to make a scene and everybody staring at me. But I think the fact.
So you're talking from experience now.
Yeah, right, man. When I was a new clerk, when I was a new clerk, I didn't want to get up and go pee right away, so I would try to hold it. But now I just walk out. But I think the best part is when JBL is clearly about to rule in the favor of Otis, and then Miz is like, I got a little bit more evidence, and it's a briefcase, and then it shows that JBL is dirty, and not only is he dirty, he has the power to book a match at Hell in a Cell, which I think is the most important match on the entire pay-per-view tomorrow night. Marcus, I know you agree because you've been wanting this match for a long time.
Yeah, and I want him to lose that briefcase, and it has to happen. It just has to happen for my plans to come together. And if it doesn't, damn it. But I feel like they missed the opportunity because I thought they were going to rule it. And then Taylor was just going to be like, it's going to be a tag team match, player. It's going to be the Miz and Morrison versus Tucker and Otis for the Money in the Bank title. And it's going to be a Hell in a Cell, player. Holla, holla, holla.
The saddest thing about this was I saw as a news report, I think it must have been last week or the week before, them talking about how everyone has been pitching for Otis to lose this briefcase, but every one of those pictures that go to Vince goes, "Oh no, 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 no."
No, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. Otis is my guy. But I love Otis, to me, and the musical segment and whatever else happened. This was just good fun. With the Gargano, this is just good fun, and it's a good breakup of the serious shit that goes on with like Roman and his family. Well, and he be eating cheese platters and shit.
Before we get to Roman and his family, let's talk about let's talk about a match that I've been clamoring for, and I finally get it tomorrow in the Hell in a Cell. But I will point out that the build up and the process of getting there just feels so forced. And when I'm talking about Sasha Banks and Bayley come down to the ring. She says, I ain't signed no goddamn contract. Next thing you know, here comes Sasha with a contract, and she put her head in the chair, and Bayley signs the contract. Manny, I want to go to you first. Couldn't this problem have been solved if Bayley just didn't show up for work, just called out sick? If she ain't there, she can't sign a contract.
Well, first of all, if you sign anything under duress, that contract is null and void. So, fuck you, Sasha!
But my baby D is Corey Graves going, she can't force her to sign under duress. That makes it null and void. 2 minutes later, she just said, well, I guess it ain't null and void. She signed that contract. No, that's still not how it works, Michael Cole. Corey Graves was right. She's under duress.
And I didn't feel like it was enough duress to make her sign his contract. I mean,
it was.
I mean, I guess it's for the storyline purposes, but I mean, overall, I just hope the match lives up to be better than what I hope it can be. It is Sasha's third Hell in a Cell and Bayley's first Hell in a Cell, which tells me that Sasha has a lot more enemies than Bayley has ever had.
Well, Bayley was a nice person. Imagine the old Bayley being in Hell in a Cell. What the fuck is that little child doing in Hell in a Cell with her ponytail? I feel like that doesn't go with her gimmick.
And if I'm right, isn't Sasha's opponent always in Hell in a Cell probably Charlotte?
Charlotte and Becky were her opponents. So she's going to the Horsewoman Gauntlet in Hell in the Cell.
So now we need to
who's winning?
Sasha, Marcus, Sasha's winning. She's gonna end the streak. But the problem with Sasha is never about her winning the title. It's defending the title, Marcus. That's where it always comes down to.
Which is why we have the official Sasha Banks title held by the one and only Wedson people.
So Betty, I will point out in the chat room, Jeremy is correct. Him being 23 does not make Aaliyah too young for him. So it works out for him very well.
I don't know why everyone in the chat normally is about in their 30s or 40s. So I didn't know how old you were.
I mean, Betty, you seem like you licking your wounds like, God damn it, I can't have Aaliyah, so no one will. Damn it, I'm too old for her.
So wait. But, Aaliyah's the star, though, right?
She is the star.
She's the star. She the one. She takes the eyes off everybody. I mean, everybody too old for her, but everybody looking at her.
But like her hugging Murphy at the end, and Murphy giving Ray and Dominic the dirty look, I was like, what's going on, man? Like, did Seth get his wish? Like, is Aaliyah gonna be part of the faction? I was intrigued with the storyline for the simple reason, as you said, Aaliyah is the star. And it makes the whole thing work because they didn't want to come out there to save Buddy. So she went out there herself. And then as Manny pointed out on Facebook, actually, Manny, I'm going to let you say what you said. Manny, point out the flaw in Rey Mysterio.
Well, Rey Mysterio is a terrible father. We've all known this from the get-go. But as his children were in trouble in this segment, he waited for his music to cue before he ran out with a chair. So Rey Mysterio continues to be a piece of shit father.
My music hit. Ah, damn it, here I go.
What do you mean? I want to hear the boyaka before I come out.
Boyaka, come on. I gotta hear the area code.
Your Rey Mysterio accent is second to none. So Marcus, SmackDown also had a moment for you, is that it united two of your favorite performers in WWE, Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens, where Kevin Owens is trying to pitch the idea of them becoming a tag team, where Dan Bryan points out that you have destroyed and turned on every one of your tag teams, which is probably why you haven't won the belt. Marcus, do you like this segment?
What? I didn't know Kevin Owens didn't win the tag team. I felt like him and Sami Zayn or somebody else has had it before, but I guess not. But he turns on everybody, and I enjoy it for what it was. They tried to show up their tag team division on SmackDown. And you look at it and go like, compared to any other TV show in the world of wrestling, WWE need to stop trying to flex on tag team. They have no tag teams. They have no tag teams. And the fact that the tag teams that came out, you were like, that's what they try to sell me? I'm okay with that.
So
like the Street Profits look like the only legit tag team.
So the more evidence of why I am the Tribal Chief is that I've been calling it for weeks, even before weeks, of what stipulation and the tribal consequences would be. And at that point, you know,
wait, I've been saying this for weeks.
I said it first. Go back to the tapes.
No, I don't think so.
Go back to the tapes. With that being said, the Usos tried to pull the old smoke and mirror. The smoke and mirrors.
I know I said this first.
They tried to pull the smoke by having Jimmy show up and be inside of the tribal council room, looking at the cheese plate, looking at the meat, and then next thing you know, Jay attacks him from behind. Jay gets the best of him, but the big dog still kind of get a little bit of stuff in. And I think the best moment for me is that even though the big dog is in pain, he puts his hand out there, and Paul Heyman mistakenly grabs his title. He's like, no. I want the microphone because I need to let these people know that I'm putting food on the table. Marcus, tell me this wasn't some boss ass shit right here.
Oh, I loved it. I loved everything about. I really enjoyed the Paul Heyman Roman dynamic more than the Brock Paul Heyman or whatever dynamic because Paul looks legit scared of this man. He don't know what this fool gonna do. Like, him grabbing the title and saying the microphone is more like, I don't know what he's going to do next. But him having to cut his beat, let me tell you what these consequences going to be. I'm going to kick your wife out the family. I'm going to kick your kids out the family. None of y'all can talk to The Rock no more. Nia Jax is on limits to injuring you in a match. That's how much this shit hurt. Y'all can't claim Yokozuna. Y'all can't claim Patu.
You can't complain.
You can't do nothing. Y'all ain't shit no more. And y'all gonna have to live with that. When you quit, you quit. Okay? You done.
No,
and
Marcus.
I'm just telling y'all right now.
No, Marcus.
The Rock is never gonna put you in the movie.
But Marcus, you got the stipulation wrong. It's that he has to say I quit, then acknowledge that he is the tribal chief and the breadwinner. If he doesn't do that, that's when the family disowns him.
No, I thought it was that Jay and Jimmy become his
Yeah, they have
flunkies.
they have to become his flunkies too, which I think is better for them anyway. They need to be flunkies.
They become flunkies, but they're also out of the family, right?
No. As long as they agree to be his flunkies and acknowledge his dominance as the tribal chief. If they don't do that, then the whole family will turn their back on him.
Oh, okay. I got it mixed up. I thought they'd just lose the match, the whole family. Like, Naomi's out. And it's like, don't fight this match. Don't let him fight this match. Like, telling Jay, he's going to fuck it all up for all of us. Don't let him fight it. He going to lose. So, like, I can see Naomi and, like, a few other people in the family going, like, he going to lose. Don't fight him.
Like, for me, it makes me think of Black Dynamite or with all the crime bosses are meeting and I see the beautiful office that Roman has as a tribal chief, and I honestly just want to have an episode of SmackDown where he's holding a meeting. You have like Santos Escobar representing NXT there talking to him.
It's not his family.
You might no, but Mark, it's like the crime bosses. You have Mustafa Ali over there representing Retribution. I mean, before it could have been Seth Rollins with the Monday Night, and they're just talking business, and and he's exploring his dominance at the same. I don't know why I need
wait.
this.
You want HillCon?
Yes,
you
Marcus.
want HillCon?
You
want HillCon for
Yes.
2020?
Yes.
All the bad guys got together and decided to have a discussion on how we can be even more bad guys.
Yes, I don't know why I need that, but I feel like Be like,
The Legion of
Gentlemen,
Doom is there with the Miz going like, I gotta get that briefcase from Otis.
I don't even want them in the same room. I just want it as like a Zoom call
Like a
or
Zoom
something,
call.
and then someone gets really pissed off and just leaves the Zoom call.
No, it's like
when they're not getting enough of
no.
cut.
It comes down to like, gentlemen, I've gathered this meeting. I gathered this meeting because I need you guys to understand something. I have taken control of SmackDown, but I've noticed that your domain of NXT and Raw is out of control. I need
Okay,
shit.
in the HillCon, at HillCon, Eric, who is going to be the one that walks out like Manny said? Who are the ones that go like, I ain't gotta hear this shit?
You know? So
Who Roman gonna piss off?
Marcus, who's in the HillCon? Let me know. Who's there?
Well, you got all right. So it's a gaggle of heels in this company.
Yeah, okay.
Well, have we got any solos? Have we got any solo heels turning up to this Zoom call?
Yeah, we can have solos. We got solos. It's just not just the factions, but we got Escobar and his crew. You have I'm assuming you have McAfee and the Negadex in the Undisputed Era with the whatever they are. I'm even throwing AEW heels in there. You got Eddie Kingston,
FTR up in there.
I mean, you just throw all the heels. I don't give a damn what you got. The Bullet Club in there, like all 500 people in there, and like Kenta, shut the fuck up. Like you had your chance.
The first person to walk out is Dolph Ziggler. he's always the first person to walk because you got
no. He wasn't allowed in. So like on the invite, he keeps clicking like to let me in, and then it just immediately boots him out.
And then like you could even do the tribal chief meeting inside of where they held Raw Underground at, where you got AJ with his big bodyguard right there. I'm telling you, HillCon would be the greatest thing ever.
I think AJ would be the first one to walk out. I feel like AJ is the one that walks out. Like, I don't need to hear this shit. I'm over here talking about, and you got Paul Heyman over there. He a snake. I don't fucking have to hear this. Fuck you. But HillCon is amazing. We have not had HillCon in wrestling in a long time. Not since Vintage Survivor Series when they would all team up to form their Super Survivor Series teams. We need HillCon. I agree. MJF is in there, and Jericho, and they're all in a circle.
I want Tully to be like the host.
I am the middle ground here. I am the one that speaks. I just want everybody to know I am on neutral territory. I don't support FTR and AEW. I don't support WWE. This is neutral territory. We're all in union that my daughter's a racist and can't get signed anywhere. Agreed.
But
Lars Sullivan's banging on the door, like, "Come on, let me in, guys."
But like I said,
You can't say that name anymore because Eric's made him Voldemort.
yes, I don't mention
sorry.
that name, man. I mean, like I said, you give me Roman Reigns telling these other heels you need to write the ship of your show, and I'm just like, that's all I need to know. Like,
well, I kind of want him to be upset with the retribution. What are y'all doing?
yeah.
What y'all set the contracts for? What you set the contract for? You're supposed to be rebels and outlaws, and you're supposed to be destroying the WWE. You can't get paid by the WWE.
But Mark, let me ask this question. Let's say if they didn't do the whole thing about them signing contract, wouldn't it have been more epic if Roman and his empire was the one that was funding the money to a retribution to destroy Monday Night Raw because it's considered competition? I think that would have been a great storyline for me personally.
At Survivor Series, I can't have Drew McIntyre go up against me. Y'all need to take him out.
No, I kind of want Retribution in there, and then I want the Hurt Business, and then them two squaring off, and then you get Roman come closer to the camera and into his microphone. You need to sort your shit out.
So wait, do we consider the Hurt Business bad guys?
Yes, they beat up Titus like that.
Okay, then technically,
They're horrible people.
So technically, it would be MVP, fuck Retribution, MVP, Santos Escobar. They would be having a meeting of bosses, and I think in that situation, MVP is the first one to walk out.
I think things stop when Charlotte walks in. It's like, oh, here.
Oh shit! I forget about Super
Everybody's annoyed. Everybody gets annoyed whenever she got to talk. I have an opinion.
Oh!
I have an opinion. Oh, God, Jesus. Does she ever shut the fuck up?
All right.
And Andrade's just in there. Man.
So we do have a couple of emails.
You should be with us, Andrade, not with this bitch. Why are you here?
Before we get onto the emails, we do have a pay-per-view coming up this weekend.
Oh no.
So we have El Luchador versus Jen, and I've got their picks, but the only pick that matters is the pick. So of the 5 matches that have been named already, it is Otis versus The Miz. Jen has taken Otis, and El Luchador has taken The Miz. Which, given that it's only one match now, and that seems to be the only challenge match, we will have to go into Halloween Havoc next week. And worst case scenario, we're gonna have to go into AEW Full Gear.
Manny, just let one match rule it all, baby. Just let one match do it. That's all it takes, man. And you know, Miz, and I'm pretty sure Marcus is causing my echo. He's sabotaging me, cause his car is old.
No, my car is off.
Oh well, shit. But
I have no background noise. I have a window down.
Well, that's what happens.
There's nothing going on in the atmosphere out here in the Bay.
That's what happens.
Don't fucking blame me.
That's what happens when you don't record a long time. All your bells and whistles get thrown out of whack.
We haven't recorded in like a week.
I know. Chris says, how bad are the other Retribution people on the mic when Mia is the spokesperson? Marcus, can you answer that question?
I feel like they're all pretty solid on the mic. T-Bar seems to carry himself pretty well.
No, Mace is the worst. If he speaks, I'm walking out.
Is that Dio
Mace
Madden?
is on commentary.
Is that Dio Madden?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like he overplays everything. Like, I don't know why he thinks he's a monster or a predator.
He does, man. That's what he is.
He's really...
Marcus?
No, when he does... Do you know when he does that? I almost
Never
want to
do that
hear
again,
the
Marcus.
predator clicks. The clicks of the predator.
Yeah, I feel like every time he does that, it looks like he's serving spaghetti out of a plate. Like, what are you doing?
Wow, okay. He's trying to get an invitation to HillCon, Marcus. So El Luchador actually sent an email. He says, just wanted to remind y'all, I'm still here and I'm always listening. Now that I've vanquished West to the Phantom Zone and saved the Sharpie Nation, I'm on to
Phantom Zone.
I'm on to bigger things. Jen, you're next. Goldberg voice. I've been busy trying to save my friend who has joined the Trump death cult, which is super depressing and sad to see a Mexican be a Trump supporter. Anyway, on to wrestling and the dinner debonair, which was freaking amazing. As a person who did sports and theater in high school and college, this was amazing, and it proves why Jericho is an all-time great. Also, seeing poor Mustafa Ali getting buried was disappointing, but we've all seen this coming for a while. Anyway, stay sharp and pop, El Champion, El Luchador.
Pop!
You know,
I haven't heard that in a while.
let me see how much of a man you are, El Luchador, and see if you could keep the championship to Survivor Series so I can take it from you. Because that's when the big boys come and play on the big shows.
Yeah, we paid a lot of money to get Eric at Survivor Series. He gets like $1.1 when the show up at the Survivor Series show.
Marcus, do you know how we commented on when El Luchador became champion the first time and our numbers went down? Given that our numbers were still higher than the podcast show on a Saturday, are we gonna have problems with Eric being the lowest drawn champion this time around?
I don't know. Eric, are you the Diesel? You the Drew McIntyre?
Or I could possibly just go on hiatus at that time.
Eric just disappears in this SummerSlam.
So,
The Royal Rumble. The Rumble's next.
We'll just strip him if he goes on a hiatus.
Let me tell you guys something, which is quite hilarious to me. We got an email. I believe it's spam email, but I got an email from Carlos. He says, "Hello, how it's going? Hope all is well. I have some cool information that might interest you. Your podcast, The Sharpshooters, has good performance in some rankings last 30 days. Position 48 in the category of wrestling in the Netherlands. Position 162 in the category of wrestling in Australia. Position 235 in the category of wrestling in United Kingdom. Position 244 in sports in the category in the Netherlands. And position 250 in the category of wrestling in United States. This data is provided by Pod Status, a service for podcasters to monitor reviews and track rankings hourly. If you want to keep up with everything that's going on in your podcast, you can try it in podstatus.com. Happy podcasting, Carlos for Pod Status. Now, gentlemen, considering that we had to release a podcast in that week, I'm not really sure where these rankings came from, but it's always nice to have your fancies tickled, and it's nice to know that we're number 48 in the Netherlands, man. We the top 50 of all time.
I'll take it. I'll take that shit.
But I'm not signing up for that service.
Take that, Carlos.
So we have also an email from Chris, who's in the chat room. He says, maybe I should start smoking even though I despise every aspect of it. This isn't I'm straight edge, so I'm better than you promo. Let's just get into it. A better email title probably would have been A Cigarette for a Blowjob.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
I want you to take your time with this email, Eric.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
intrigued.
intrigued. Yeah.
You nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah. At first you had my curiosity.
That's not nasty. I'm just genuinely curious about where this email is going.
Last week.
You have my curiosity, Eric, but now you have my attention. Here we go.
Last week, my coworker was outside, sitting on the bench, smoking a cigarette. Customer walks by, stops and asks if he could bum one. He asked if she's willing to help him. She replied, "Do you mean with your job?" He said no and pointed to his crotch and made a hand motion. She said,
"Oh, come on, man. No more class."
She said, "Sure." They disappeared around the corner. Well, he returned to work late from his break, but in a much better mood. Can't imagine why, yes, that's sarcasm. He didn't inform me that he told her since you already had your hand on it, that you might as well put your mouth on it, and she complied. She told him that she had an argument with her boyfriend, and he took her phone, so she was probably just getting back at him. Ever since then, he's been looking for her to return and making sure he has cigarettes on him, but to no avail. Told him he should have gotten her number.
Going back hoping the blowjob fairy would be coming back.
So yeah, smoking is putrid, but it may have advantage or two. Until next time, Chris is awesome. You know, gentlemen,
it had no relevance to wrestling at all.
It did, Marcus. But Marcus, let me ask this question for you: when has Chris ever had anything that was relevant to wrestling?
Which is why I want him on a separate show so we can go through all of this, because it's gonna be incredible. And we can do one story at a time. Stretch this whole thing out.
Yeah, Adventures of Chris Royale.
Man.
Blowjob and a cigarette.
She wants to smoke.
Chris
Hey, you want to smoke? You may get cancer.
Chris also had another email that was sent in a couple of days earlier where he has a lot of angry face emojis and my name after it. So let me read this one.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Like I said last week, and you didn't accept, Eric, congratulations on your team winning the NBA championship. Next time, listen. Marcus, no, I haven't died yet. Well, maybe by the time of this email, we shall see. Manny asked for where the hell I've been. Yes, as speculated, fell in love for a bit, although it might have just been lust. But alas, that is over. God damn.
Well, Chris, sorry for your loss of the female, but we're glad to have you back.
Spent most of my time with her. Another part, worried about my brother who caught COVID. Man, I'm sorry to hear about your brother catching COVID,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sorry about that COVID, man. That
I'm
shouldn't
sorry
be
about
happening.
that. Possible worries of looking for a new place to live.
I love how we just changed tone so quickly and then went back to normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
As the owner of this establishment is searching for a place for himself and his girlfriend. Then there's wrestling as a whole. Dear Lord, I know you people will defend them no matter what they do. Oh, Eric will ask his old question of, then why do you still watch? The answer to that question, Eric, is because we all addicts. We need that next hit. Let me back up. back to Monday Night Wars. I told this story before, so if you heard it before, go get a drink from the kitchen or take this time to get the laundry out the jar because I'm going to tell it again. If you are a new listener, perk up and pay attention. Back during those times, I had a warehouse job and the shift was 4 to 12 p.m. Thus, I missed wrestling. This couldn't happen. Got the job through a tip agency, so as things started heating up on Monday, I told the foreman that I just started college courses and had to leave at 8, but just on Mondays. I wasn't fixing to miss my wrestling for no damn job.
Ooh, you lied.
Or however it's spelled that Austin used to say. Yeah, I was dedicated. Fast forward many, many years, and I'm just blind towards the product. I still watch the pay-per-views. I catch highlights on YouTube. I'll be here with the Sharpshooters because you've been my ride or die for a decade plus. But a normal supporter, meh. For instance, I can't tell you the last time I actually sat through an entire Raw. And if I do watch it, I'm sleeping before the show ends. I did manage to catch bits and pieces this Monday. So again, I know Eric will defend this BS, but I have questions. What kind of lazy ass booking is there where the Street Profits and the New Day just exchange tag titles? So is this considered a new reign for both teams? Why wouldn't each team want to become double champs? Marcus, since I didn't watch last week, could you answer this question for Chris?
No.
Okay.
No, other than the fact that it was a peaceful agreement, it was the logical thing to do. I don't think this counts as two reigns. I don't know. I mean, like, what? I mean, they wanted to switch their shows. Basically, the whole plan was to switch Big E so he can go solo. And that's where we got in this situation. All you had to do simply is just not give the New Day the titles. And I think you would have been out of the situation. Right?
With this company obsession with giving mic time to Nia and Natalya, two of the weakest in that category. Then again, y'all believe Charlotte is good on the mic. So moving on. So Asuka's at ringside.
Everybody.
So Asuka's at ringside to watch the match, but then leaves to watch the rest of it backstage on TV at an awkward angle. The hell. And nothing says we care about the women's division and so-called main event by not showing it. Thanks, Vince. Thanks a lot. Let's show this tired-ass Randy and Drew brawl. Also, again, stop with the trope of so-and-so was never eliminated and returns to win the Battle Royal. Dear God, stop. And before anyone asks, yes, my streak is still ongoing. Even if it was a Battle Royal. I have never watched a Bianca Belair match with pants on. That's not a streak I really want to hear about. But,
yeah, that was not classy at all.
And Eric, you knew exactly what I was talking about in the previous email. There was no reason why Vince McMahon needed to have his love boy as a moderator on my NXT for the match between Finn and Kyle. Anything but wrestling. Dumbass people and how to deal with them. On more than one occasion, I've heard this and I don't know how to respond. I can't wait until the election is over, then COVID will go away. Manny, you're intelligent. What would you say in that situation? Oh, I have an answer for this one.
I like how we just both said both of you are not intelligent by just claiming I'm intelligent.
Yeah, I'm deeply offended by that. No, I'm not really.
Well, what's your opinion on what though? Because I didn't know what he was talking about.
He said,
I guess COVID disappeared.
He said people say that I can't wait till the election is over and then COVID will go away. So there's many people.
It's never going away.
So my answer, I said that my answer to that would be, oh, COVID didn't go away. You just did because you died from it.
Well, if you go by which they're comparing it to, the early stage of the Spanish flu back in the 1900s, that went through 4 waves. I don't know if America's finished the first wave.
No, we're still in phase fucking 1.
I think England's starting to hit that. England and the rest of the world are starting to hit that second phase. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna go away for a while.
I'm just upset that I want to get to the next phase. I want to be with everybody else. I want to be in the next phase. I don't want to be in phase 1. We're lagging, man. We're lagging.
We just record. I think I read somewhere that we record our most coronavirus cases ever, like yesterday.
Can I
the WWE is also considered a hotspot as the Performance Center, Full Sail, and the Thunderdome are all considered to be the hot spots of coronavirus.
Oh, I think the state of Florida are putting them under inspection. All their
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt that WWE had a valid response because you cannot be talking shit about WWE when the fucking governor allowed them to run that. Like, Florida is a shit show. They got everything open. I'm just saying. If I'm gonna die from COVID, can I die from the next phase and not the first phase? God damn it. I don't want to die.
I want to get to the boss.
I want to
get to the Roman. I want to get to the.
I want to make the second phase
Yeah.
so I can prove that I wasn't so weak like the rest of them.
Like, you don't want to be Yamcha. You want to fight. You want to at least get the cell. You don't want to die to the Cyberman, or that might be Vegeta. You fight Vegeta and Nappa. You don't want to lose to the Cyberman. You want to lose to Vegeta and Nappa at least.
Yeah, man. You just don't want. And in closing, I need everyone, and I do mean everyone in the Sharpshooter Nation, to leave Brother Eric alone about this narrative that he's addicted to porn. Because I wasn't around for a few shows doesn't mean I wasn't watching and listening. As every time someone mentions porn, you can see the man shift and look uncomfortable in his chair. Let him be. Eric, you go ahead and watch that porn. And next week, tell your top 5 movie or stars. Until next time, Chris is awesome. You guys enjoy that so much.
Yeah, I do.
The thing is, it was a throw-off comment, and then the chat ran with it.
and apparently, it's been a narrative for as long as we've been doing the live stream of this show of porn.
Yeah. Well, Eric, it didn't help that you uploaded us to Pornhub. That didn't really help. By accident. That didn't really help.
First of all, that is fake news. That has never happened.
Hey, I honestly think if we upload this show to Pornhub, we'd get more views.
Or dislikes.
Like, wait a minute.
So you mean I have to pull my shirt down, show some more skin?
You want to be a star, don't you?
I don't. I would say, despite everything that has been going on for the last couple of weeks, it felt really good to sit down and just talk about the nonsense of professional wrestling. I think the highlights of the week for me, if I had to rate the 3, Law and Otis. That was like number 1 for me because it just was so funny seeing Teddy Lowe pop up. Then it's the My Shadow and Me. And then Chad Gable say that fuck Shorty G, I'm back to be a Chad Gable bitch. I mean, like, those are the takeaways I take from wrestling, and I know they're not important takeaways, but those are the things that made me laugh out loud. Like, I can't believe what I just watched. Marcus, what did you take away from this week? What were some of your 3 favorite moments of the week?
Gargano in his wheel, in the training wheel, just amazing, and fear. You can see the fear in his heart, and that this is gonna cost him his life. And I don't know what kind of match he's gonna end up in. It's probably gonna be an Inferno match or something. But you fear his life. Also, Roman Reigns kicking the Usos out the family and threatening to put Naomi on the streets. And that whole aspect of the drama of that one. And finally, the last takeaway would be Eddie Kingston threatening Jon Moxley and talk about how he found him a wife and he got to live his life, and Eddie Kingston never changed. And look how bitter and ungrateful he is. I enjoy it.
Manny, what about you? What are your takeaways from the week? What are 3 things that you really enjoy?
I definitely really enjoyed Jericho and MJF, just because it was a quick change up. Like, you were expecting, it's going to be like a segment where they try false comedy and it's not going to work. Like a few weeks ago with that clown. I can't even remember. Clownico, the clown.
Clown ass, yeah.
Yeah, it was a nice change up. I'm just gonna say one of my gripes. # Billy Kay deserves better, because I did not enjoy Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans.
Manny, can you say that real quick? Because I was going to throw something else. I was going to add a little bit extra flavor because I was going to ask you guys, what was your hate of the week? So, Manny, what is your hate of the week? Go ahead.
It's the disrespect to Billy Kay and the Iconics.
Yes.
Marcus,
Absolutely.
Your hate of the week, is it the same as Manny?
No, I'm going with the AEW medical staff and everything they do with all this shit, in which everybody is completely hurt. They need to really protect themselves. Those pieces of shit.
Well,
Ray Phoenix could have died out there.
I feel like both of you have very valid hates, but I think my hate goes back to those two damn cheerleaders that was sweeping when Kenny Omega walked out. I hated them so much, man. I just said, what type of shit is this? And honestly, if Kenny Omega would have had more than a 5-minute match with Sunny Kiss,
that wasn't 5 minutes.
Huh?
The entrance was 5 minutes.
Yes, but like
the match was like 2 seconds.
Yeah, so to me, that's what saved that segment. I just hope that next week when he fights Wardlow, that he could keep all his accolades. He could get waiting behind the screen, but he drops those cheerleaders. I really hope he does. I doubt that he will, but what can I say? And Jeremy agrees. They did not need to split up the Iconics, man. Why did Vince see Buddy? Why did he see Buddy and Peyton Royce when he didn't even see Buddy and her husband? I do not know.
He don't see Buddy and Peyton Royce anymore. I think he's given up already.
Guess what?
Jeremy does agree with me and Eric about he hated Ember Moon being employed.
Marcus, Ember Moon might be the worst debut or return debut since the Gobbledygooker. I'm putting it out there. I said it. And that's harsh words right there.
Eric, you have been on record to say you didn't like Deonna Purraz's body. I believe Ember Moon is in similar shape. Who's got the worst body? You
are correct in that situation. Well, Manny, considering that everything that's going on in society right now, I have to side with my black sister that her body is not worse than Deonna Purrazzi, because Black lives do matter in this situation. So I'm going to say that.
Not if you're in AEW.
It's so true. It's so true. It hurts because it's true. It's funny. But Rich Swann can become Impact Champion tonight.
I thought he went to jail.
Rich Swann?
And Manny, you know what? Emo said it right in the chat room. I will not say that person's name, but that return is worse than Ember Moon's.
Yeah, it's like a...
Well played. Well played.
You mean the guy that start? You mean your favorite gay porn star?
The Pornhub.
Well, you know what? Fuck this shit.
That should not be named.
You know what? On top of that concludes this episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. Although Marcus would be a straight bitch and start calling claiming people being my favorite porn star. You will never know my favorite porn star.
My name? Huh? I would never know your favorite male porn star.
I don't have a favorite male porn star.
It's really creepy that even I can't imagine anybody having a favorite male porn star. I just can't. Just don't think.
Why are we on this topic?
I don't know either. We were doing so well. We had HillCon. And then we go here. I'm gonna go back to a happier place. HillCon.
Oh, you know what my hate of the week really is?
Well, okay.
I don't watch the show. Hold on. I don't watch AEW Dark, but there is no reason to have 16 matches on your fucking 2-hour show on YouTube.
Can I ask a question?
Who needs that many squash matches anywhere?
Marcus,
they were going through the ticker, and I already reported that someone's like 16 matches on Dark. I think it's AEW, like, can't wait. That was 16, and then they were going through the ticker on Dynamite, and I was going like, all these matches seem like trash. Brandy got a win. I mean, Ancient Mama got a win. Everybody got a win. It was just like, what is this?
Manny, you see how much attention Marcus paid to me? Because about a month ago, I complained about this when I said I was going to watch AEW Dark, when Manny said that, watching AEW Dark kind of makes AEW Dynamite make a little bit more sense. And then I turned on AEW Dark and saw it was 2 hours on YouTube. And I said, I am not invested 2 hours of AEW Dark in my life. So, Marcus.
Squash matches.
So, while we were on a hiatus, Wes messaged me. He's like, hey, you watch AEW Dark? So my response was not often. If is there anything worth watching on it? He said, check out Brandy on commentary for the Red Velvet match. She sounds a little buzzed. What do you think? And he gave me the timestamp. And he went, at least to me. My response was, I refuse to watch Brandy when I have a choice not to.
Damn.
So
was
Maddie,
you drunk or not?
you're not watching a Taste of Brandy when she had the dude from the Dark Order inside her house making drinks and playing with Pharaoh?
No, because Brandy Rhodes is a terrible host, terrible ring announcer, terrible wrestler. She's just terrible in general.
Damn. She's terrible as a record label and the crew.
Damn.
Can I also respond with the hater move of the week? Should go to WWE, and that's the scooping up of Ben Carter. Your boy Eric. Like them just going, we're taking that away from you. We're taking that away from you, AEW. You had a nice toy. He got COVID, and now he's coming to the COVID capital of the world, the Performance Center. We just stole Ben Carter.
That's their fault for not putting him under contract. Like they seen him a few.
You put a ring on it.
They seen him a few times at that point. They should have been watching at the moment that Scorpio Sky match happened. It was like, we got to sign you. No, NXT gave him a decent offer and he took it. Well done.
And it doesn't hurt that he was trained by Seth Rollins, which means that he had an in into the company. So, you know, and I made a couple of phone calls, let people know. I said, hey, that Ben Carter, man. You know, when his name made it to our show title.
Who did you call?
If I reveal
Ghostbusters.
my sources, I can't call anymore, man. But I will let everybody know that this particular show, it does not affect the Entitled Manny and Marcus show whatsoever. But I'll wait till the end of the show. I would say around the Thanksgiving holiday, I will probably be on hiatus for about 6 to 8 weeks. Well, I will not probably be able to record a show. Not really sure. It might be shorter than that, but that is the recovery time from Sharpie's wife's surgery. So that's why I'll be gone.
You didn't even have to say that, Eric, but yeah.
I didn't, but, you know, I like to be fully transparent in this situation. We also have a GoFundMe. Please look in the comments. There's a link there. If you follow us on social media, you know what was happening, and, you know, quite frankly, I don't want to talk about it because, you know, this is a happy moment. I have HillCon. Even when people mention me having favorite male porn stars, it's even fun being ridiculed at that point. And
I feel like you'll be invited to HillCon, and then Hill will just start making fun of your porn addiction. and you would be the first one to leave. You're the first one to leave. Like, I don't need this. You hear 7 hours of that cackle?
Marcus, let's let you know. I'm going
easy moment, gentlemen. Let's get serious. And then you see everybody just trolling you.
Marcus, I'm gonna flip the table.
You flipping the table in your house so soon?
Yeah, I'm flipping the table, man. I'm gonna have a.
You flip the lid on your camera, just like.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, let's go. Or I'll have an animated GIF that goes like, flip the table, like, you know. Thank you, guys. This was fun. Although my nose is so
we had talked about the Survivor Series kind of thing that we're going to do. Send your applications for a team. It will be the 3 of us versus you in a draft.
Wow, this is the first time I heard of that. But all right, yeah. Draft time, baby.
Yeah.
Let me go watch Draft Day to get reminded how to draft and will it deal.
However, if Eric continues to call himself the Tribal Chief, he will be on a team separate from me and Marcus.
You're not the Tribal Chief, man. We're not falling in line.
Did the thumbnail look good this week? Because I made it!
Hey, Manny, I give that thumbnail 2 thumbs up. And then I nail it to this camera.
You know what? I also give it 2 fingers up. With that being said...
there your thumb.
Do a favor.
Yeah, we did you a favor.
Yeah, but it's one thing to do somebody a favor, but then you keep throwing it to their face. It doesn't make it a favor anymore. I just want to point it out. You know, like...
Yeah, you got a point.
No, it's like, you know what? Thank you for give me that money to help pay my rent. Oh, you're welcome. 2 days later, hey, man, you know I paid your rent, right? 3 days later, you know I paid your rent, right? It's like, at a point, it's like, I'd rather be kicked out than have a favor.
So what we're basically trying to say is we're the real Roman Rangers of this show.
How many times have I said that you guys are the A show? How much more do you need me to? Okay. How much more do you need me to say?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Next week's show, October 31st, is actually Halloween.
I'm not dressing up.
Eric, I know you're a good Christian, but I think you need to dress up for Halloween.
I'm not dressing up.
I think you need to do it.
I have an idea. I just need to.
I do too. I have an idea too. And we can talk about this off air.
Well, anyway, I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes, and I'm going to the moon.
I'm August the grand finale, sitting in my car.
And
with nothing to do.
As much as they want me to, I will not dress up like Joey Ryan next week. Until then, stay sharp. We out.
The 2 fingers are back.